Hey everybody, this is Christopher Small, and this is episode 83 of the Rich Life Lawyer Show. Creating wealth, protecting families, building legacy. This is the Rich Life Lawyer Show. I am super excited to be here with you today and to talk to you about something that is really quite important to me. I look like I'm young, right? I talk about this all the time, but I actually have 3 kids. I have a 4-year-old, a 2-year-old, and an 11-month-old, almost a 3-year-old. And this is something that when we first had kids, and then we would go on date nights, that I would think about often. I'm a lawyer, so I see this stuff. I see my clients going through these same things, and I would think about these things a lot. And the number one thing that I would think about is, what happens if I go out on a date night with my wife and we get in a car accident and we don't die, but something happens to where we can't get home for a day, 12 hours. We're in the hospital. Something's going on. Who is going to take care of our kids? What does that process look like? Does the babysitter know what they are supposed to be doing if something like this happens? And for most people, the answer is, I have no idea what I would do. The babysitter doesn't know what to do. The babysitter would probably call the cops. And that is like the last thing that you want to do. And so I wanted to talk about it today because there's also an update to the law that sort of makes this stuff a little easier. It makes it more legal, at least. So let's just back all the way up. The reason you don't want to call the cops, or don't want your babysitter to call the cops if something happens to you and you're incapacitated for some amount of time, is that the police are under an obligation to contact social services. Okay, it's particularly if they don't know who is supposed to be watching the kids. Right, their number one goal is to protect the kids, and the way that they have been instructed and the way that the law is set up is that social services is supposed to be that person, at least at the beginning, at least on a temporary basis. So you can change that by assigning a temporary guardian. The reason I said that you can do this now because of some changes in the law is that in the past, it wasn't spelled out specifically, at least in Washington State, how you can do this. And so what we would do before is, clients of mine, we create this thing called the Babysitter's Bible. It's basically a set of instructions that you can leave for the babysitter, and you just say, look, if something happens, open this and follow the instructions. Step 1, step 2, step 3. And within those steps would be the people to call first, the people to call second, the people to call third, and then some paperwork in there that we would hope would hold up if the police somehow got involved or social services somehow got involved, to be able to allow the kids to stay with the people that the parents wanted them to stay with until that time that the parents could either get back on their feet or other arrangements could be made. And so we had this thing, and a recent change to the law has made this better, more legitimate, I guess is the answer. And what I'm talking about is there's been an update to the power of attorney law that now allows you to insert temporary guardian language for your kids. You can do this on a short-term basis, on a long-term basis. You can do this in the event of incapacity. You can do it basically for any reason that you can think of, and in any time span that you can think of. You can incorporate this into a power of attorney, or you can create a standalone power of attorney that works for this situation. So if your child is going out of town for a significant amount of time, if they're going to go stay with your parents for the summer, right? If the kids are going to go stay with the grandparents for the summer, this is a great opportunity to create this power of attorney, which would give the grandparents then the ability to say, go and get medical help if there was an accident, right? Even if it was stitches or something like that. This power of attorney would allow the grandparents the ability to get that medical help. And these are things that we don't often think about, but that are really critical and important when it comes to the lives of our children. So I wanted to take this opportunity to really speak to you about that and let you know that A, it is possible to put something like this together. B, it's not extremely difficult. And C, it's extremely effective, and it will allow you to put in place the people that you want to have watching your kids if you can't. All right, so that's kind of my public service announcement to you to think about this stuff and take care of it. Don't wait until it's too late, because if you do, it's just a whole bunch of other problems that arise. It gets expensive, and it's just not good, right? So I'm going to leave it on that note. Okay, if you're interested in learning more about this, I'd love to tell you more about it. You can reach me at 206-659-1512. You can email me, chris@cmslawfirm.com. You can go find me on the internet, anywhere. Just Google me, Christopher Small, and you can find me. All right, so I hope this helps. I hope that you put this stuff together so that your next date night can be stress-free and worry-free, and so that your kids can have the ultimate protection, the protection that they deserve, so that they can live, the life that you want them to. All right, so that's it for today. I will talk to you soon.